dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life. And he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges.
Breaking news at noon, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs now facing federal racketeering and sex trafficking charges.
The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
Well, we are reading through and breaking down the indictment just unsealed and outlined by the U.S. Attorney in Manhattan. Welcome to the Noon and Bianca Peters. Let's get right to this now. Police arrested Diddy last night following a months-long federal investigation that involved the raids of multiple homes belonging to the music star. All right, Lisa Evers has been following this case. She is live outside a federal court in Lower Manhattan with the news that is still unfolding right now. Lisa, what do we know?
Well, Bianca, a lot of developments here. My federal law enforcement sources tell me that Sean Diddy Combs spent the night in a federal holding cell after being arrested last night by Homeland Security agents. Now, this morning here at the federal courthouse at 500 Pearl Street, a federal RICO sex trafficking indictment was unsealed, naming him. And among the shocking claims, one of them that his global empire of fashion brands, entertainment, and music brands was actually funding criminal activity. Here's what U.S. Attorney Damian Williams had to say just a short time ago.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
Now, while Combs rose to fame with his music, he made hundreds of millions of dollars with these brands, fashion, and other entertainment businesses. His lavish lifestyle was threatened last November when his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, filed a civil lawsuit naming horrendous examples of abuse and charging him in there. Now, last March, federal agents raided his Miami and his Los Angeles homes, and since then have been pretty quiet, although there have been rumors of a federal grand jury that had been seated. My sources tell me that federal grand jury actually found him guilty on Friday, but this was all kept under tight seal until last night when it was confirmed officially by the U.S. Attorney. Now, Diddy's attorney, Mark Agnifilo, is speaking out very strongly on his client's behalf. Here's what he said just a short time ago.
He came here to surrender at a time agreeable to the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then they arrested him last night. I spent the evening with him. I was with him until about 1 o'clock. His spirits are good. He's confident. He is dealing with this head on, the way he's dealt with every challenge in his life, and he's not guilty. He's innocent of these charges.
Now, it's expected that Diddy will be arraigned on these charges. There's 3 counts in this indictment, that he'll be arraigned sometime this afternoon. That is critical for him because at that time, the judge will decide whether he will stay behind bars or whether he will be granted some type of bail package. Now, another interesting point about this case, the indictment that was unsealed, it also requested forfeiture of vast amounts of the assets he still continues to own. We're live at federal court. I'm Lisa Evers, Fox 5 News. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for that update, Lisa. And we're